What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay, and welcome to part 4 of the Pre-ICO Hustle. Now, as you've been following along, we've been basically sinking $500 to $1,000 in different pre-ICOs. Benefit to this is that we're getting in at this 50, 55, 60, 90 cent range on coins before they've got their internal exchanges created, before they're out on external exchanges, before they launch their lending programs. And the assumption that we're all making is that we see something that's what happened with BitConnect, where it jumped up to $10, $12, $15. Something like Regal, where it went $20, $30, $40 now over time. Hextra struggled a little bit, but it's floating around in the 20s. We've also got DAV coins floating around a $10 range. So if you come in, you do some simple math, you buy 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 coins, and all of a sudden you've got $10, $20, $50, $100,000 that you've generated, mostly profit, and you can then decide what to do with it. You can then decide to go into the lending platform, move it over into something that you feel more confident with that isn't brand new, do whatever the hell you want with it, really. And so this is what we've been up to, and so I wanted to show you and update you with the latest, which is Exacoin. So Exacoin, what we've got in here is 500. This is one that we didn't feel 100% with. We just did $500, which will be 500 coins basically. And a lot of the ones that are upcoming, we did our preliminary research and we did some background research on it too, and I wasn't really that comfortable with them. Like this one also too ties down this money. You can't withdraw any BTC until after the ICO, and so stuff like that kind of turns me off to a degree, and so I don't go as heavy as I'd like to in platforms that are like that. And so with Exa, I don't actually remember what we found here, but I feel confident going 500, and again, you know, that's completely my choice. But we're looking at a few others, and I think after we wrap up this series, then we're going to do a longer series where we maybe do 10 or 15 of them, and I bring on more community members to kind of manage that whole thing, because I think at that scale, it would be really interesting to see what that does, because we're at the scale of like, we're going to do maybe 5 or 6 now. I think it'd be crazy to see, okay, what would 15 do? And you're doing, again, 500 to 1,000 in each one of them. That could do insanely big numbers ROI-wise. And so after this, what you'll get to see is you'll get to see us making the decision on what we're going to do after the coins, after the internal exchange happens and the lending platforms are launched, which the first one, Tex, if you remember that from video 1, that exchange is opening in exactly 10 days, 11 days. Then after that, that'll be the December 22nd that the internal exchange will launch. The lending platform internal will launch the 26th, and I think on the 20th they'll be launching on an external exchange. That looks to be the first one to pop, and you'll get to see what we do with it. So we'll keep an eye on it, like the day that the internal exchange hits, then we'll kind of keep an eye on stuff, see what it gets to, with the intention that we're going to take some and put it out into the lending platform on the 26th and probably pull out some profit, but we'll see when we get there. And I think that's roundabout the idea and concept that we've got with most of these is, let's do a little lending, pull out some profit. The interest that we get paid every day, probably with some of the leftover coins, we'll stake if they have a staking option, or just hold on to the coin longer with an expectation that not necessarily it gets to a BitConnect level at $300, $400 a coin, but that we see and touch into maybe $50 to $100 per coin range, which would be even bigger ROI, right? Like that's like some Ethereum ROI numbers there. So a lot of these won't do that. Like, let's just be honest. A lot of these won't do that. They're not going to last years and years and years. And so we can bank on that, and I think set our expectations pretty clear. But that's about what we're looking at doing. And I think that's really your main options is you have this thing, it peaks, and then you pull out some profit, decide if you want to go in on a lending platform, continue to hold coin, stake, mine if you want to, or just pull it out 100%. Or you could just do a little, you know, kind of sliver up that pie a little bit, you know, do a little bit of everything, right? Or, you know, pull it all out and move it over into like a BitConnect or USI Tech or something like that, or even hold Bitcoin. All those would be great options at that point. So yeah, that's it for video 4. What we're going to do next is you're going to see the update, which is where we have already bought these coins, and then we're going in and we've got the next 1 or 2 funded, and then I'll kind of update you on everything that's going on. But that's where we're at with the journey so far, my friends, and I'm super excited that you've joined along. And if you're looking to get into the pre-ICO game, this is kind of what you can expect. This is what you're doing. This is the process. Okay, welcome back, and I think you'll probably be seeing this all in one video, part 4 and part 5 all together, but this Now that I gave you the update on everything else that's going on, we got text coming out soon, later this month. The loan coin went ahead and went through the transaction that was pending. It turned out that they oversold a little bit, so we actually got the coins, which is why the amount of money disappeared from my wallet, and then it didn't credit me the coins, so then we had to email them and they credited the coins, so it all ended up working out perfectly, and we got the coins in the positions that we wanted there. And so now here we are. EXA hasn't popped off yet. We tried last night and it didn't work. Well, my last night, and it didn't work out yet, so we're gonna do EXA again today, well, which is tonight my time. Right now, Libra, which is one, I think this one will be easy for everybody to jump into because it's open. And it's just selling based off of volume on an open ICO, and as it hits different milestones, then it goes up in price. So right now we're in phase 2, which is that it's 70 cents right now. So I moved over 500 and you see $31 just now in BTC, and I wanted to actually show you how you would go about doing this, because since this one's unlocked and we don't have to play like a huge login trick game and all kinds of things in the background that you might not be able to do, you might not understand. I just wanted to show you this one because it'll actually be really, really easy for me to show you this, and you can kind of follow along here. All right, and we're back. And so now let's jump into the ICO. We just simply click on the ICO page, I believe. There we go. Kind of weird. And then we just click on buy Libra. Now we're gonna have some little trickery here to kind of fool around with this to get it to work. We can buy a maximum of 2,000 Libra a day. I believe we're somewhere in the 700. So let me bust out my calculator here. Pull this bad boy up. We can do this together. All right, so we have $500, so 530 divide by 70 cents will give us the amount, 757. So let's try that. See if that works. Well, that was easy. You kind of got to play some trickery with it to get it to the exact dollar amount if that's what you're doing. However, I got pretty close. $1.95 left over. I don't really care. 757. In all honesty, I'll probably push over more money right after I get done filming this so that I can get more. My goal was to have at least 1,000 coins on all of these, and so if this is wide open like this, look at how easy that just was. I have no problems with sending more over and getting this up to that 1,000 coin mark that we wanted, which, I mean, what is that gonna be? Not even another $300 will get us there. So, and this will be, so that'll be, this is number 5. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Okay, so we're at 5 now. And I think we'll end it there with the series and then just kind of track how these all go. I hope we've shown enough variety with, the different offers. They're all lending programs. They're all high yield interest stuff. Most people would consider this stuff high risk as well. But this one is a little different because it's wide open ICO. You can just get in there and, like what I just did, transfer over your BTC, which you would just get your address from this button here, click and deposit. And then you just, you saw me do it. Amount of Libra that you want to buy at 70, 80, 90 cents a piece, whatever you're buying in at. Even at $1 a piece, these ICOs, 10, 20, $30 down the road, you'll be thanking yourself, your past self, and you'll be thanking me as well, probably. And so this one, we've got 757. I want to get this up to 1,000, and then I'll give you a quick update on the EXA as soon as we get that done, show you that wallet, and that's pretty much going to be it. And then we'll track them, and we'll start to get into the good stuff here in the next. We've got one jumping off. Text, I think, will be the first one jumping off in 10 days. So we'll have a little break from the series, and then we'll come back and touch back in 9, 10 days from you seeing this video to talk about the next steps and really see how things are progressing with that ICO once it actually launches. So that's it for this video, my friends. Thanks so much for tuning in.